Okay, I'm gonna do an early morning bid this today. I had just did a briefing on the practices of the third eye. It was based on only practices. So now I have to clarify something for some of my viewers. They have thought that the Illuminati and the third eye is actually all in the same. Now, the Bavarian Illuminati that was established in America was established in May of 1776 in Philadelphia. Now, when they established this, they came to the Iroquois Nation and understood their role of government, and the Iroquois Nation was basically almost the same. It wasn't declared a democracy because you didn't vote people in, but the hierarchies of their government was ran like this. You had a chief and a vice chief, and you had elders, which was the cabinets, who helped influence the decisions with the chief and the vice chief. And they had districts, which were states, and each district will have like a governor over it. So they used this structure of government to implement in the new Americas, because to give one man so much power always failed. Every time they try to give someone so much power, what happens is this person tries to become a god theirself without any regards to the responsibilities and roles that have to be done for their perfection of their new world order. Now, remember, Europe was a monarchy. Now that they constructed their new government and everything, they started the Constitution. And everyone who signed the Constitution was a Freemason. A lot of the forefathers were very big in showing their expression of their traditions being Masons. Not all Masons are of the Illuminati. That's another clarification. Not all Eastern Stars, not all of them have the same practices of the Illuminati. Now, the thing of the third eye, which separates it from the Illuminati, is the Illuminati is an elite society. These people are a group, whereas the third eye is unseen knowledge, something you can't see with the two eyes in front of you. Is something that is already embedded in you. Is all depending on when it's going to be activated. Everyone has a third eye. Not everyone can activate it in the same way. Now, the third eye that is activated can be activated by certain things. You can have chemical influences that stimulate dopamine, give you that euphoria where your sensories are all completely open. That includes sensories of unconscious state. And these unconscious states tell you secrets of the dead. And in explaining that is, you're almost to a state of death when you're asleep. You're so fully active that you're not cognitively within this realm. You're completely within another realm. You're only able to breathe and do your natural reactions. You're only capable of doing your natural involuntary movements and involuntary production, which is your heart rate, things that are done no matter what, because your brain has to send that signal out whether you tell it to or not. Your brain has the ability to do other things whether you tell it to or not, and that's also give you sight beyond the reality of the five sensories that you were taught to only have. These five sensories only consume a maximum of 30% of your brain usage. So if there's only 30% of your brain usage being utilized during your time awake, there's a whole 70% of your brain that is being used while you are asleep. In shamanism practices, which practices the third eye, I go into shamanism very strongly, because it's a practice of natives around the world, people of the land, the natural land. This is the most that they practice is that unseen knowledge and the conversion of going from the state of physical life to the state of physical death and being able to reveal the secrets that your brain can power. The other influence other than chemical influences that stimulate your dopamine by either using certain form of pills and drugs and things, acidic measures that have the ability to overstimulate. You can also get into what's called meditation, and meditation is being able to focus in every aspect. It starts off with learning how to focus on something as simple as breathing, and people think that's easy, and actually is not. To be able to control and feel your breathing and feel the air within you in every place it goes from head to toe, and feeling the oxygen go through your veins. This is something that only can be obtained by practice and keep on doing it over and over, because it's something you don't get automatically at once. And once you just learn something as simple as controlling something uncontrollable like your breathing, then you can go into focusing in other things within your mind and your body that are involuntarily done naturally, so you can learn how to control them unnaturally. Another influence is an outside influence, an outside knowledge, somebody who already has these capabilities and tells others how to do so, but in their light, they can either do it for a selfish reason in servitude, where they're looking for others to revere them in a higher light. They're trying to find their godship within being a darkness that absorbs light. So what they do is tell other people that I can give you a light, but you must feed your light to me to be able to continue to have it. You have then the realization that, as I said, we all have this third eye. So you just have those who just give you the word so you can know how to find it for yourself. So these are the different influences in opening up your third eye. The Illuminati are people who have to feed on light. They have to have their society constructed on other sciences, and other sciences make their godship based on their convenience and their wealth and the resources and the utilization of the resources of this earth and things like that. But it's not as in a balance where it gives back to what they get. That's the discrepancy with the Illuminati. They have one purpose, and it's the same purpose as anybody who goes to church or anything else. They have the purpose of perfect peace and a one world without violence and nature that is so destructive that it causes a downfall in not only the lower level beings but in the hierarchies. Their ways of doing so is wrong because it's so selfish that it's by any means necessary. That's the difference. And practicing the third eye is not always about any means necessary. It's just these people choose to do things by any means necessary, not restoring the balance. They will kill, steal, destroy, don't care, to be able to sit at their thrones. I'm allowing you to know you don't have to sell yourself short and become these lower level who need to feed off of things of this earth to be gods. We were already meant to be that before we even had touched the responsibilities. We were already purposed to be gods. So by being these lower level beings, they will have their time of reign. This is why they're so happy, because they're looking at the now. The now says, we will let you reign for this certain amount of time after the catastrophe happens and we have to do another rebirth. But after the catastrophe happens and the rebirth starts, these are going to be soon the same people to fall, because they haven't learned to